I'm going to start streaming. A good evening to all you Mustang fans out there. It's time for varsity basketball here from Mount Vernon in the gymnasium. I'm Jim Beatty, and together with me again this evening, Nolan Brand back from Central College on break. Welcome and good evening, Nolan.
I am. Should probably be my last game here, but it should be a good one.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can't get a better night for making it your last night on air with us than to get to see both the girls and the boys play.
Yep, it's a good deal we got tonight.
It really is a good deal, and actually we're going to have several of these. We started them a couple of years ago and just had one or two of them, and then last year I think we ended up with 3 of these boy-girl doubleheaders. You might remember as well as anybody, having played in all of them. And then I think this year there may be 5 of them if I remember correctly. So that really excited to bring you this action, fans. You are listening to Mustang Vision and watching Mustang Vision. It gives you the options. We're really excited about that. This is Mustang Girls Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Copenhagen Associates. And we are really happy to be seated up here underneath our huddle camera, and it's going to bring you the action. Maybe you watched some of the freshman boys game that just got over. Tough haul for the freshman boys is that they got a lot of players that have kind of succumbed to the COVID requirements, and so it's tough to field a team right now, or court a team.
Yeah, it was a rough game for them, but you know, as a freshman, you're just looking to get better every game, and I think they started to find their groove a little bit at the end, so hopefully they can carry that into their next game after break and get some more practice in.
Yeah, absolutely. Just making a couple of quick adjustments here. Mustang Vision is brought to you by a great lineup of sponsors. Of course, Copenhagen Associates is our season-long sponsor for girls basketball. Joining Copenhagen Associates are Ability Physical Therapy, Ace Hardware, Bluegrass Enterprises, Bridge Community Bank, Dance Arts Iowa, Downtown Dental, Gary's Foods, Hills Bank and Trust Company, Iowa Physical Therapy, Kelly Concrete, Lunekis Consulting, and Lunekis Law, Lynch Ford, M&K Dust Control, Mount Vernon Bank and Trust Company, Mount Vernon Chiropractic, Mount Vernon Eye Clinic, Mount Vernon Family Dentistry, Mount Vernon Insurance Agency, One Mission, Palisades Family Dental, Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency, Robison Construction, The Sweet Factory, Unity Point Health, Yox Landing, U.S. Bank Home Mortgage Purchase and Refinancing, Elite Plumbing and Heating, Lynn Woodley Construction, Balker Mechanical, and Hands in Harmony. Those are our sponsors, a great lineup of sponsors, tremendous businesses here in Mount Vernon and Lisbon that bring their contributions to make Mustang Vision possible. Nolan, you've got family members that enjoy this as much as anybody, being able to listen from Florida and wherever they're at.
I do. I have some grandparents back home who should be listening tonight.
Fantastic.
I'm not sure if you've hopped on yet, Grandma, Grandpa, but it's good to have everyone here, and our list keeps growing, it seems like.
It really does. In fact, we added to the list just this week. And who knows? There's still time, and of course we've just barely scratched the season. Mount Vernon comes in 0-4. This will be their 5th contest, and most of the season taking place after the Christmas break. Really excited for these girls. Some special things that are happening tonight. One, of course, we have our player of the game that we will be featuring at the end of the game. Nolan and I will get a chance to select the girl that we think had the greatest contribution, the most consistency, the most impact on the game. We're going to award the player of the game, and that's brought to you by Mount Vernon Bank and Trust. Really excited for that. In addition, I had a chance to sit down with Coach Hattie today via Zoom and did an interview. Those of you that may have listened to Mustang Cast in the past, I've always tried to make a habit of interviewing the coaches during halftime of their opposing game. So during the halftime of the boys, interview Coach Hattie. Halftime of the girls, interview Coach Tim or Coach Roberts. So tonight, special action. Because we were able to do that via Zoom, you're going to be able to listen to your coach in your proper sport during halftime. And Coach Roberts was interviewed by Paul Fugit, whom you heard broadcast the freshman game with Nolan just a little bit ago. And they will bring you that interview at halftime of the boys' game. So, Nolan, we look into this game. We got about 6.5 minutes of warm-up. Mount Vernon girls still on the court doing their shoot-around. West Delaware's already headed off to the locker room, presumably for their last contact, although I've seen teams come back, spend another couple minutes on the floor, go back for one more touch. So I guess we'll see. But this is going to be an interesting contest. 0-4 Mustangs. We have seen them battle each and every game. They're really just not getting the ball in the cylinder. And they're going to be going up against a 1-5 West Delaware. So really kind of for the first time in probably a long time, these two teams are coming in at the bottom of the WAMAC.
Yep, and both West Delaware doesn't have a conference win yet, do they?
No.
So they're both winless in the WAMAC, and one of them will get their first win tonight. So we should see some good competition, and both teams should be scratching and clawing to try to get that first win.
Yeah, I would absolutely think they would. West Delaware comes in having dropped games to CPU, Vinton-Shellsburg, Benton, and Beckman Catholic. They and as well as losing to Dubuque Senior in that stretch. They had a win to start off the season and then have dropped their last 5. Mount Vernon, of course, they come in having dropped to Benton, Clear Creek, Amana, Vinton-Shellsburg, and Marion. And so common opponents there, Benton and Vinton-Shellsburg. And the scores, West Delaware's a little tighter in those contests. So it's going to be interesting to see which Mount Vernon team, or if the Mount Vernon team can continue their advancing. And we talked about that with Hattie, or I talked about that with Hattie at the halftime interview, that it's a process. And one of the most important things about this season for our fans to remember is they haven't had any time to work on the process.
Yep. It's been difficult. They didn't have a summer. To work on. And I know, especially with Coach Tim, we did a lot of team camps. We did a lot of open gyms over the summer. So that was a rough beginning to it. And then obviously with the quarantine session at the beginning of the year, we got a late start, later than most of the other schools. So it's been different, but I mean, it's all part of the progress, and we'll just see where we can work forward from there.
As a player, how difficult do you find it? I know you being at Central, getting ready for your season, and you've talked about how you guys were isolated to pods and really have whatever practice you've had has been in that pod. How difficult is it at this point in the season to be an athlete and really not get team touches, team workouts until you get to that first game?
Yeah, well, I know from my point of view, like with our pods, I haven't even seen half the team practice.
Whew.
So I only know half the guys, and I seem like I'm competing against half the guys for those spots.
Right.
So, I mean, but when you go out and play, obviously the coaches have seen everybody. So they try to work their lineups in and just do the best that they can.
Well, and that's certainly what Coach Hattie and his assistants have been hard at. And this has been 4 games of process, 4 games of evolution. You know, he does have some potentially strong lineups, and we saw last game that you were with us, and we've talked about the fact that they've got 6'1" across the front line if they wanted to, 3 6'1" players, all of them really solid basketball players in their own rights. And so, you know, it's that challenge of who do you put out on the court and who do you put with them, knowing that your scoring also has to largely come from those guards that are shooting in the perimeter.
Yep, I'd say, I mean, Coach Hattie's a big defense guy.
Yep.
So you can put anyone out there on defense, but the reality of it is that you got to have someone who can put the ball in the basket too.
Absolutely.
That's been a struggle to start the season, but we've had some players show up, and hopefully more continue to, and just build that confidence that they too can put the ball in the hoop for us. So,
because really, when it comes down to it, the more defense you're forced to play with the intensity to try to keep the other team from scoring, if you're not able to reciprocate on the opposite end, it becomes a losing battle for the intensity of your defense.
Yep, it does. But when you get a steal and you take that all the way down, you put the ball in the hoop, it gives you a lot more a lot more confidence, a lot more intensity to do it the next time too.
And that's absolutely what we saw, in particular from Natalie Welch the last time that the girls were on Mustang Vision. And Natalie ended up being our player of the game during that contest, and really shined in that second half. She had some points in the first half. She might even have been, if I remember correctly, was the point leader at the end of the first half, but really started to assert herself in the second half from the very perspective that you just brought. Turning it over, getting the turnover on defense, driving down the court, or being part of that trailing action that is then able to put the ball in the hole once you're on the transition bucket.
Yep, and last week in her case too, it was getting offensive rebounds.
Right. She
was there, she found where the ball was going, and she was able to put those in as well. So that always gives you a little boost when you can do that for the team.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is this tonight going to be your first time seeing the varsity boys in action?
I was at the game on Saturday.
Okay.
Against Washington.
That's right. That's right.
So that was a rough game for them, but they were good. It was a good Washington team that they played. So.
Really solid Washington team.
It was.
And so they're going to, likewise, the boys are going to come up against a team that matches up, at least in terms of records, very similar to theirs. And so we should see two pretty similar teams coming down the stretch here for these two games. We got a minute left here before Mustang girls basketball, brought to you by Copenhagen and Associates, gets started. We're excited to get into the action tonight, and of course we'll have the starting lineups for you. First for the West Delaware Hawks, second for the Mustangs, the national anthem, and then head right to game action and the tip. Referees, I see that they've made their way to the court, and give you a look at who your referees are for tonight. For the girls basketball game, your referees are Brett Featherston, Kyle Ganson, and Andy Hofer, the three gentlemen on the floor tonight for girls basketball. West Delaware comes in coached by Matt Utoff, assisted by Rich McMahon and Shannon Funky. They are, of course, a longtime rival. There's a lot of really solid contests across all sports between West Delaware and Mount Vernon.
Yep, they're always good fun to compete against, and I mean at the end of the day we know most of them, so you get to know them once you play them twice a year and everything.
It's a good thing about having good solid foes in your conference when you get to play them twice, home and away, and really gives you a chance to get to know the students from freshman all the way through your senior year.
Yep.
West Delaware comes in leading point scorer for the Hawks. Ella Kolick is a junior. She's scoring at 11.7 points per game. Second for the Hawks is Kayla Felton at 8.7 points per game, and Claire Ridnour at 5.3. So those are some of the names that you'll be listening for tonight from a Hawks perspective. Rebound leader also Ella Kolick, and followed by Mia Payton. For Mount Vernon, Natalie Welch continues to be the scoring leader for the Mustangs, 7.8 points per game. Mackenzie Rensler's getting in there now at 5 points per game. And Ava Richardson, who we've also featured as a player of the game, is second on the team in 3.8 points per game. Liz Dowdy is leading the Mustangs in rebounds. Liz at 5.3 rebounds per game. Also in there then Ava Richardson, who's just been gritty. And, you know, she's not one of the taller players on the team, but she gets down in there tight and works hard on defense.
She does. And that's what we'll need tonight. Starts on defense.
Yeah, absolutely. So the West Delaware Hawks just introduced, and they include number 2, Ella Kolick, a junior. Number 3, Kayla Felton, a junior. Number 15, Claire Ridnour, a sophomore. Olivia Schulte, number 20, a sophomore. And number 21, Kennedy Klosterman, a sophomore. So those Hawks starting juniors and sophomores, not only 2 seniors on the team, neither one of them starting. And for your Mustangs, coming out first, number 3, Mackenzie Rechler, 5'4" junior, followed by 6'1" senior, number 10, Natalie Welch. Out after her, number 22, 5'7" senior, Ava Richardson, followed by 5'9" senior, number 24, Bethany Richardson. And rounding out the Mustang lineup, number 34, 6'1" junior, Liz Doherty. Here's your national anthem. We're going to rise with it. Pause for the anthem, and we'll be right back. And national anthem finished. Means one thing, tip-off is imminent. Nolan, coming off their game Friday night that you and I got to do together, what are you looking for the Mustangs to build off of in that game versus Marion?
Well, I think one thing, I'm not sure what defense they run here, but Marion ran the zone, so if we can get going in the man early, I think, well, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do out of the man.
Yep.
And then, obviously, we got to take care of the ball early. That was a big one last game. And get the ball down low to Natalie Welch or Liz Dowtry and see what we can do down there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the more they use those 3 6'1" role players down on the front line, I think the better off the team will be. But it's going to take penetration to do it, and so that means our ball handlers, Ava Richardson, Mackenzie Rentschler here starting off, are really going to have to value the basketball and take care of it, which is something that they didn't do early against Marion. So I think controlling turnovers is one of my keys to victory here tonight. Natalie Welch is going to control the tip thanks to the, they're going to jump again. And they're going to re-jump with Mackenzie Rentschler and Ella Kollick. Since it was a jump right after a jump, there's no possession. And so this is a pretty rare occurrence in any basketball, any form of basketball.
Yeah, I'm sure she was surprised to see that.
That's probably the first time Mackenzie's ever had to jump.
I'm sure.
And so West Delaware controls the tip quickly down on offense. They go. Kollick dumps it down. Shot up by Claire Ridenour and rebounded by Ava Richardson. Mustangs get the first rebound of the game. We're 0-all here, 7:30. One of the things you'll notice tonight, the scoreboard's back. Glad to have the scoreboard back, as we were missing it for a couple of games. Liz Doherty is blocked by the backboard, but she's going to pick up the foul.
Yep, great take right away, too. Looks like they're starting in the man, so.
Well, I think, with the advantage of how well Liz handles the basketball, you got to tell her, be strong, right? Why not?
Yep, and with her size, she can move people around a little bit. So
yeah, absolutely. Makes the first free throw to giving the Mustangs the early lead here, 1-0. And the second, nothing but net. Doherty perfect from the line. It's 2-0 Mustangs here, 7:30 mark, as we're underway in Mount Vernon. Kollick tosses the ball off to Schulte as she passes. They work it around the horn. And then down low, another shot up this time by Kayla Felton. No good. And then it was rebounded and put back by Kollick, and it was also a miss. So 2 more misses for the Hawks, and the Mustangs have a chance to build on their lead. Natalie Welch gets it down low, passes out top to Ava Richardson. Back to Welch. This is where Nolan at the top of the broadcast really wants to see Natalie take that ball and head down to the block. They're going to find it in the hands of Rentschler. Gets it down low to Welch. Nowhere for her to go with it, and she tosses it off of Richardson's feet out of bounds to the West Delaware bench.
Yep, that's one of the plays where you just got to pass it right back where you came from. You're being doubled down there, and there's nowhere to go along the baseline.
Really hard to get that ball across the baseline to that corner. So it's still 2-0, 6:30 to go. Nice hands by Bethany Richardson to knock it away from Ridenour. Into the Mustang bench. And Kollick comes out with it on the inbound play. To Schulte on the cut. Back out to Klosterman. To Kollick at the top. She gets by her defense. The layup no good. Rebounded by Klosterman, though, and this time it's going to be put in. And so the Hawks even it at 2. Good defense there by the Mustangs. They just lost track of where the basketball was on the loose ball. Rentschler picks up her dribble, needs some help. Welch gets there just in time. Now Doherty looks to reset the offense. Richardson's not going to waste any time. Drives, kicks out to Rentschler. Open three-pointer, no good.
It's a good shot, and she's another one that we got to get going early tonight.
That's the way to do it on that dribble penetration.
It is. So the best shots to shoot.
Felton hands it off to Kollick. They work the other side, and the shot from Ridenour is blocked. No good. Rebounded by the Mustangs. Doherty to Rentschler. They're going to work through Welch here, trying to get it inside to Bethany Richardson. They pass that up. Now Doherty off the elbow. She's going to get called for a double dribble. probably looking for a pass that never really showed up and then got caught in between step there.
Yep, I think Bethany had her sealed, and Natalie just decided not to go to her right away, which is fine, but we'll look to get that later in the game, I'm sure.
Probably going to be there a lot. Bethany is really strong down on the post. Lily C in and Cameron Brand in for the first time tonight. Colic goes around both of them, and also Nadia Telecki is in, and she picks up the foul. Colic to the line. She's 0 for 3 already. Most of them layups, shot and missed. And misses the first free throw. Hard off the back iron. So only a slightly smaller lineup. Nadia Telecki still got good height. And Colic makes the second, so it's now 3-2. Hawks with their first lead of the contest. But Telecki also a really gritty basketballer. Doherty passes out of the double team. Lily C is going to be called for a double dribble. Controlled the ball, stopped or hesitated, and then restarted her drive.
Yep, I think she was just trying to dribble down that. Maybe it was a bad pass, but didn't think she could control it soon enough.
Pretty wide open lane for her as well.
It was, if she'd gone right away.
Had to look like a great invitation. Colic passes out of it to Klosterman. One bounce and over to Schulte. Schulte bounces it off of Cameron Brand. She's able to control it, gets it off to Nadia Telecki. And the Mustangs control the turnover. Trying to regain the lead here. Down 3-2 at the 4:35 mark in the first period. Lily C, hesitation dribble. Passes out of it to Brand. Looking for some rotation on the far side. Doherty comes up top, now to Telecki. Down low on the block to Welch. She turns on her pivot, she can't get open. Nice defense there played by the Hawks. In and out of the hands of Telecki, but she controls it off the chest. Now C up top. Working on Schulte. They pass out of it to Telecki. Nice long defensive stance here by the Hawks. Nice patience out of the Mustangs. Telecki looking to pass out of it. Gets it to C just in the nick of time. And now Doherty off the wing. Probably a good timeout called right there by Brand. Nothing really happening offensively.
Yep, I agree. We spent a lot of time at the high side of the court. We couldn't really get anything down low.
And that's clearly where it looks like they're trying to run their offenses down off of those two blocks.
Yep.
Really nice defense on the one turn by Welch down there.
Correct. But it's been a lot of passing between the elbows up top.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to get something to the corner. We got to get someone to drive a little bit, create some more space between defenders.
You know, space, that's an interesting point. Space is something we talked a little bit about in that Marion game, and they adjusted it in the second half. They got really tight in that first half against Marion. I think that's where a lot of those turnovers came from, just nowhere to pass the ball. And so you get frustrated and you try to force the pass, or you go where the offense tells you should be passing it. They really got to open up the space so they've got room for their cutters. Lily C off the inbound play, pulls up her dribble. She needs some help, passes out of it to Cameron Brand. Brand working on Colic, picks up her dribble. Now off to Doherty. Bethany Richardson gets hacked, able to control the basketball though. Telecki up top. Working off of Klosterman, she's dead. But there's Doherty with nice hands. And Cameron Brand from the corner misses the three-pointer. Great weak side rebound by Nadia Telecki. It was really a good shot by Cameron Brand.
Yeah, it was. That was the first time getting it down to the corner, too. Been a lot of passing up top.
You got to have those shooters ready to pull the trigger when they get the ball in that window. You got a visitor, Nolan. Don't worry about giving him some space. That's a visitor you surely want to meet with. Coach Tim stopping up here to see one of his former players. Nadia Telecki makes the free throw, the second one. And that ties it up at 3 apiece. Hawks with the ball. 3:14 to go in the first period. Inbound play. Schulte bringing it up. Inbounded from Felton. Off to Klosterman. She's going to find Oh, for a three-pointer, it's Felton up top. Felton hits the nice shot. It doubles their score and gives them a three-point lead on the Mustangs. Cameron Brand with the ball. Wide open shot there, Nolan, for Felton. Good in and out play for the Hawks on the Mustang defense. Richardson with the ball. She's going to be hand checked by Schulte. Always fun to see former coach.
It was. Caught me right in the middle of my speaking up here, though.
Coach Tim is good at that, right?
He is. And he'd be good at being up here, too.
Oh, he is so fun to listen to on football. We're really glad he's part of our broadcast team there. Bethany Richardson comes to help Rentschler, gives it on the back cut to her sister. Schulte able to make up the distance. Now Bethany hands off to Brand. Brand has it poked away by Mia Payton, who's in for the Hawks. Now Natalie Welch coming in to give Liz Doherty a blow. And Welch to Ava Richardson to start the next possession for the Mustangs. Down 6-3, 2 minutes to play, just over 2 minutes. Rentschler with the ball off the wing is going to go ahead and pop it inside the line, but great shot. Nolan, we want to see her take that.
Yeah, and it's good to get her that screen up top, too. Get her a little separation, be able to go up with that right away.
Mia Payton with the three-pointer, no good off the back iron, rebounded by the Hawks. Controlling it in the corner, Schulte. Skip pass, Ava Richardson on the deflection, able to come down with it. She's pressing the issue, driving all the way, trying to go coast to coast, has it go off of a Hawk foot. She's able to recover, get it back from her sister. Now they work the offense rotation through Brand to Rentschler. Down to Bethany Richardson on the elbow. Back out to Rentschler. Rentschler would like to get open for another shot, I'm sure. Once you've hit one, you want to keep that roll going. Bethany Richardson at the elbow. Turns and drops it down to Welch. A lot of traffic. The pass across the corner there, you talked about that, how tough that pass is. Intercepted by the Hawks. Skip pass to Schulte. They work it around the horn to Felton, and this one goes in and out, rebounded by Ava Richardson, and she's going to be fouled by Payton.
Yeah, West Delaware's had some good ball movement early, and we just seem to be just a step behind everything so far, but thankfully they haven't had a shot fall that easy for them. So
that's absolutely right. Ashlyn Steen into the contest. Good to see her back on the team. Part of a stint on the quarantine list. Ashlyn Steen, one of the primary ball handlers that Hattie's been counting on this season. She drops it down right away to great pass to Richardson on the block and has it blocked. Hawks back the other way with a 6-5 lead. Ashlyn Steen working really hard on defense, knocks it away. 50-50 ball, a lot of them fighting for it, and Rentschler's going to come in from behind and foul Klosterman.
It's great energy by Steen right away, though.
Absolutely.
Getting those hands down low.
Very quick hands.
Yep.
Felton to inbound the ball here to Colick. She's going to walk it across the center line.
See, they might take the last, wait for the last shot of the quarter here.
15 seconds to go in the first period. And Felton took a look at it, gave it up. Going down low to Erin Hellman. And she put the ball on the floor and got tied up by Bethany Richardson. Goes out of bounds off of Richardson. So just 7 seconds, the Hawks to inbound. Good defense here by the Mustangs. Looking to deny the perimeter. Oh, and Colick gets loose, but leaves it on the front rim. Rebounded by Hellman. And they're going to call a jump ball with 3 seconds. Possession of the Mustangs.
Let's look for a long inbounds pass here, and got to throw something up quick if we want it.
Lily C's just going to let the time expire. That's a long way to throw the basketball. We saw Cedar Rapids, Washington make a long shot from half court, and that's long enough. That was three-quarter court, not going to happen. So at the end of the first period, Mustangs in a game here. So you got to like what the way they've come out and really worked hard in this first period.
Yeah, it's been a low-scoring game. So I'd say they have 2 baskets off of offensive rebounds, so that's one spot we could clean up a little bit, but the defense has been good so far.
They haven't let a lot of open shots go. They kind of the same thing we saw from the boys on Saturday, that dribble penetration into the elbow and then kick out to the strong side open perimeter shot. I think only a couple of those have gone up free and wide open. They missed one of them. So that's pretty good defense, I think. It looks like the man-to-man's working for Coach Hattie right now.
Yeah.
Which just watching the girls that are out there, it seems like we might be a more athletic team at this point than what West Delaware is putting on the court.
Yep, I think they're just looking to space out and swing it back and forth, and as long as we stay up, get in their grill, use our quick hands, and keep moving our feet, we should be just fine.
Absolutely. Quick break here between the first and second period. The Hawks have the ball to start the second period. Up 6-5. They go inbounds and down low right away to Felton. Her shot is off the rim and rebounded by Lily C.
Lily C with the double dribble right there. Looked like she wanted to pass the head to Natalie Welch and then second-guessed herself.
Yeah, and I like most times when you're putting the body in motion like that with an object like the basketball, it's so hard to make a change in mid-motion, isn't it?
Yep.
Nice shot off the backboard by Olivia Schulte, and the Hawks take an 8-5 lead here in the second period. Ashlyn Steen. See that she's dropped her face mask. Ava Richardson gets free, goes down low to Lily C. They're going to pass out of that to Natalie Welch. Natalie Welch takes the seam, gets it up off the backboard, misses it. Nice rebound by Bethany Richardson, and she's going to be fouled on the floor.
And they've really had great post defense down there to start the game. They get their double there quick, and they get their hands up. So that'll be tough, and we just got to pump fake and maybe find somebody else out of that.
And they're giving up 2 to 4 inches across the front line to our taller girls, and still they're playing strong down there.
Yep.
We might be a little quicker on the perimeter right now, but they are certainly they're certainly playing post well. Rensler is going to pass it out top to Richardson, to Doherty. Mustangs with Doherty, Ava Richardson, Rensler, C, and Welch on the court. Rensler gets top of key, hands it off to C. Works left, finds Rensler, a little quicker or a little lower pass. That might have been a shot from McKenzie. Mustangs working perimeter. Liz Doherty gets inside the elbow. Nice shot, but unable to get it to go. That's a shot I think that we'd like to see her take several more times tonight.
Most definitely. Just drive and stop right there, right under the free throw line, and go up with it.
And she's going to hit 3 out of 4, I think, of those.
Yep.
Over the night. Travel for the turnover for the Hawks. Mustangs still down 3 at the 6:30 mark here in the second period. And the ball. Rensler from Brand. Tosses it over the head of Welch, which is not an easy thing to do. And the turnover to the Hawks. Kolek to a cutting Felton. Nice pass by Mia Payton, and that's a layup for Felton. Their second bucket tonight. Brand dribbles down into the double team, turns and fires it back to Doherty. Almost drags her foot, able to control that though. Brand picks up the dribble, passes the skip to Mackenzie Rensler. Rensler on the curl to Doherty. Gets it right back. There's an open three-point look, and nothing but net.
Yeah, that's a great play by Doherty to make that pass. She was looking the other way, all the way from the other elbow, and then she just swung it over there.
Absolutely. Way to create some space for Rensler. Rensler went to the open spot on the court. That was good work by the two. Now the Hawks. Doherty putting some pressure up top, and she's able to get the tip away. She's got to coast into the layup here and makes it. And that ties the ball game up at 10 apiece. Quick timeout by Coach Utoff. So that's a great 30-second stretch right there for the Mustangs. Good defense, good offense.
It was. We got to keep that going now.
And it also is impressive to see Doherty not afraid to put that kind of pressure out that far from the basket. I mean, she's clear up almost to the circle and able to really get quicker hands. And I think the defense or the offensive player was just not comfortable with seeing that.
Yep, and when you show that pressure like that, it just shows like the trust you have in the people behind you. So
right.
She knows there's going to be someone there to help, so she can get out and deny, put that pressure on, and try to go for that steal.
So a much different Mustang team showing up tonight and really taking care of the basketball, able to find adequate offense to this point. They've missed some shots and missed some good shots, but I think the most important thing is that they're taking those shots and they're getting those shots.
Yep, just stay in the game. It's 10-10, we got a chance.
5:25 to go. You're watching Mustang Girls Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Copenhagen Associates. He's the voice of Nolan Brand, former star basketball athlete and football athlete here for the Mustangs, now at Central College. Here to do some more color work for me tonight. And nice offensive foul produced by the Mustangs. Excellent work by Natalie Welch to hold her ground and force the moving screen. I'm Jim Beatty, and we're so glad that you're aboard tonight. Hope that you're enjoying. As the weather's turning colder, it's going to be more enjoyable every evening that Mustang Vision brings you this live action. Brand dribbles by Schulte easily, gets all the way down to the block, passes cross court to Lily C., who makes the layup. Nice job by Lily C., or maybe about a 6-footer. We won't give her a layup on that. Good work by the Mustangs. Hellman, she's going to travel. She actually traveled twice. He caught the second one.
Yep, she wanted to dribble it again, too.
Yeah,
so.
It was going to be a turnover one way or the other. Mustangs with a lead, 12-10. They haven't had the lead since it was 2-0. And Mustangs now working off the baseline. Welch to Doherty, moving the ball really quickly to find Rentschler. That one's going to go high off the backboard, no good. Hawks looking to drive. Payton with the ball, stopped by Doherty, and they're going to. Ball's going to go to the Mustangs, as more or less a turnover on the Hawks, just a loose pass.
Yep, as a result of that early defense, maybe they got a hand on it and forced a little tip, and then she just bobbles the ball, and we get a steal. So.
Well, and they had some fans, kind of screaming at them to really take that rebound and push the pace, and that can oftentimes make you work a little faster than you want to. Bethany Richardson just rips the ball out of Hellman's hands, and they're going to call Hellman for the reach. So as you can see on our scoreboard that's back again in the lower left-hand corner, Mustangs are way up in fouls here. Just 2 fouls for the Mustangs. That's the 7th team foul for the Hawks. That puts Bethany on the line for a 1-on-1. 12-10 advantage, looking to add to it. Nothing but perfect form on that free throw, and Bethany gets the first. 13-10. Gets the bonus here. Another smooth looking shot. That's great form, Nolan.
Yeah, free throws are definitely a spot where we can keep scoring points here. That's been a struggle, but you're in the bonuses early, so let's make some work out of it.
Absolutely. Colick misses the layup. Bethany Richardson with a nice rebound, but just nobody to outlet to, and she got a little ahead of herself. Gives the ball back to the Hawks. They're down 4 now, largest lead of the game for the Mustangs. 4 minutes to go in the half. Schulte inbounds to Colick. She fakes the three-pointer and gets all the way to the baseline, makes a nice little 6-foot shot. It's now 14-12. Brand brings the ball across center court, passes out of it to Steen. Steen to Telecki, gets it back. So they probe the corner, nothing there. Felton able to work around the entry pass to Richardson. Down court to Colick, and she misses the shot. Rebounded by the Hawks. They move it back and forth, in and out, testing the defense. Colick gets all the way to the board and makes the shot. Running one-handed layup. Defense not able to stay in front of her. She's working really well with the basketball. Steen, little late with a pass to Ava Richardson, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds. That was a nice cut by Ava Richardson, Nolan.
It was, and she had her there for a bit. Just a little too late on that.
Lexi Hartman in for the Hawks, able to get a hand on that and knock it out of bounds. Richardson looking for somewhere to go, just needs some people to move, and Collick's going to intercept the pass. Just nobody moving to open the shot. Steen somehow stands in front of Collick and forces her to trip. No foul called. And the Mustangs take the turnover. Bethany Richardson fires a three-pointer, no good. 2:50 to go, and there's a tip by Telecki on the long pass to Felton. Goes out of bounds. Hawks control. No hesitation by Bethany Richardson on that three-pointer.
There wasn't. I think she could have waited a little bit and gotten her feet set first, but she got the shot off before we could turn it over second time in a row. So
aggressive defense by Rentschler, and sometimes you're going to get burned when that happens. Collick able to control the basketball and take the shot and make it. So their points leader has certainly showed up here in this first half. Telecki to Rentschler. Rentschler gets loose, goes all the way in for the one of her own. Nice move by Rentschler. Working without the ball is Schulte. She gets down low and misses the shot, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Hartman. Collick's taken 9 shots in the first half. She is not afraid to put the ball up.
She's not been, and she's been effective for him.
Yep.
She's had some good drives early. She hasn't quite gotten her shot going yet, but hopefully she doesn't turn that on.
Richardson takes a shot, has it blocked, gets it off to Doherty, and then around to Rentschler. Rentschler misses the three-pointer. And on the defensive transition, I think they're going to get Ava Richardson. That's going to be the third team foul for the Mustangs. Long way to go before any free throws for the Hawks. Team fouls 3 for the Mustangs, 7 for the Hawks. Inbounds from Schulte to Collick. Richardson able to put some pressure, and then Doherty picks off the pass, goes all the way to the lane. She's going to be fouled going up for the shot.
Yeah, that was great defense by Doherty up there on that elbow to get that hand in front and then be able to drive right out of it. So
yeah, absolutely. Really nice team defense, too. Her working with Ava Richardson, recognizing the pressure that she was putting on the passer. Free throw's good for Liz. 17-6, Mustangs retain the lead. And she gets them both. Doherty perfect from the line tonight, 4 for 4. At a 2-point lead with $1:40 to go in the half. Mustangs really playing well tonight on the West Delaware Hawks. There's an almost turnover for the Hawks. Kolak gets it, controls it, passes out of it to Felton. Gets it back to Kolak. Kolak goes around the rim, not able to make the shot, doesn't actually come anywhere close to it. And rebounded out of there by Doherty. Doherty off to Richardson. Richardson is going to travel, though. She got a little deep on the baseline and got double teamed.
Yep, I think she thought Natalie Welch would maybe stay down low as she went up with that right away, and then she cut back out to the top. So
yeah. And again, you get stuck as an offensive player. What do you do with the basketball, right?
Yep.
Felton with Doherty all over her. They pass perimeter to Kolak. Felton gets it back, trying to drive on Doherty. Has it stripped away by Ava Richardson. Doherty goes to the floor, and they're going to call her for the foul. That's the 4th on the Mustangs. Under a minute to play here in the first half. Mustang girls varsity basketball brought to you by Copenhagen Associates. Good to be home and enjoying the warm night of basketball. Doubleheader special for you, boys, girls, West Delaware action. There's a shot by Peyton, no good. Gets her own rebound, puts it back up again, no good. And then the rebound torn away from Welch, I think it was, by Schulte, and it also missed. So the Mustangs on the move. Rentschler gets away to the baseline and can't get it to go.
And she'll go to the line, but the drive's good. She's been good with it so far. And that's something that when she drives more, maybe they'll back up, and she got she's got more shots to take. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You want that offensive player driving the basketball to realize that they have the control and they can take it until they get shut down.
Yep. Keep the defense on their toes at all times.
Yep. First free throw for Rentschler is good. 19-16 your lead. 40 seconds, 41 actually, left in the half. You hear coaches yelling all the time and players that have been, or parents and fans that have been around basketball for so long, stop ball, right, on breaks. And so when you're that player with the ball and nobody's standing in front of you, you got to take it to the rim. That's what Rentschler did. 20-16, Mustangs are back up to a 4-point lead, matching their largest of the game so far. Kolak's going to come in and work off of Steen. Passes to Schulte. Schulte misses Payton. Gets it to Hartman. Hartman back to Schulte. Schulte's got Doherty on her now. Is able to hesitation dribble around her, and then the shot by Hartman was tipped by Welch. And then Welch landed on the end line. More substitutions for the Hawks as Ridenour, one of their starters, comes back in. Sends Hartman to the bench. The Hawks, 20 seconds to go, inbound to Kolak. Kolak runs down the lane, misses the layup, gets the ball back herself. And Schulte this time is going to miss the layup, but she's going to be fouled, and so that's going to be 2 shots with 10 seconds left on the clock.
And that's another situation where we gave up the offensive rebound again.
Yep.
So those have hurt us a little bit in the first half, especially when we've got the height advantage, I think.
So hard when the offensive player comes in as fast as what Kolak's coming in when she makes that break. And so most of her balls are hitting back iron and rebounding a lot further out than I think our defense is set to handle, which is why you just got to keep moving your player back, right?
Yep.
And Schulte makes the second after the first miss. 20-17, 8 seconds to go. Mustangs with a chance. And Coach Hattie's going to call a timeout to set up a play with 6 seconds. Well, if I had to guess where this ball is going to go through, I would say they're going to try to set a screen roll for Rentschler, but I could also see something out of Doherty. What do you think?
I think he'll try to look for a 3 here. I'd say either Rentschler or is Ava Richardson back in? No.
She's not, and Steen's not, so it's got to be Lily C., Rentschler, and maybe Cameron. I don't see Cameron standing.
My guess would be he'll look for a corner 3 here.
Yep.
Maybe just drive and kick to somebody.
Yep. I think that's a pretty good guess. And certainly if they can get Doherty, well, Doherty will probably inbound it to C, and so then maybe she can get it back. And if they get one of those 2 players, Brand or Rentschler, move into the corner, whichever corner is open. Just seeing some West Delaware players coming down out of the stands. They got 2 guys on crutches. Or maybe that's 1 guy and 1 guy's helping. That's what it is, 1 guy on crutches, 1 guy helping. I was going to say, that's losing players if you got 2 guys on crutches. Doherty to inbounds, gets it to C, or to Rentschler, back to Doherty. Doherty's going to have to take the shot. There's the 3-pointer on the way, and just off the side. It was a good shot.
Yeah, it was. Had her open there.
So at the end of the first half, so far this season, an unusual position for the Mustangs, but one I got to believe Coach Hattie's ready to get into the locker room and talk about.
Definitely. I think he'll be impressed with how they played the first half, and we just got to continue it one more time.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a break, and we're going to treat you to this interview with Coach Hattie taken today, talking about the team and the start and all that it has meant to them. We'll be back in about
Hey, Coach.
Mr. Beatty, how are you?
Great. Well, I am so glad that you and I are able to connect this way, and an interesting season. This is our first boy-girl doubleheader varsity game tonight, and it's been a challenging season, I know. Talk to me just a little bit about the challenges that COVID is making on your team, I know preparation is for the season was kind of shortened, but what are you seeing in season right now about the challenges that you guys face as you try to move this team forward?
Well, yeah, it's definitely been an interesting year. I mean, we started out, at the normal practice time back in November 9th or whatever it was. And when we started out, we had, I think, 10 girls in quarantine at that point in time. It was one of those where we had 10 girls in quarantine, but we didn't have actually anybody that, thankfully health-wise that actually had the virus, so it was an interesting deal. We were down numbers with that. We had all 10 of those girls that were in quarantine were zooming in to watch practice so they could still be involved, which was, really a really cool deal. So we, kind of went through that week and a day with early practices where we didn't have a good chunk of our varsity kids. And then right as they were getting ready to come back and we thought we'd have full steam, field of practice with, the district shut down activities. So we were down for about 2 weeks with really nothing. We were able to do a couple of Zoom meetings just to kind of, interact with the girls, go through a few things, but there's only so much you can do in those type of settings. It was more so for us just making sure that we were present for our kids and available and continuing to work on those relationships and just, spending time with them. But yeah, it does make practices difficult and different. We really, especially with what we do and what we rely on a lot of the live, high intensity, high energy drills that we have to do to build how we play. And a lot of that's really been kind of put on the back burner and taken away from, in a sense, just in order to try and mitigate things as much as possible. So we look at, and I've told the girls this, we've really looked at our games as being our best practices. So
as I've been broadcasting this season, I absolutely labeling your team right now as just relentless. And I realize that you're not getting it done on the offensive end. You're not putting the ball in the basket as often as you wish. But talk to me just a little bit about your perspective of the relentless nature of this team to just not die at the end of the game when they kind of see the inevitable in place. They're playing all the way through the end of the game.
Yeah, that's just kind of the kids that we have and the mentality that we've kind of established is one, that we're going to control the things that we can control. And there's a lot of things this year that are very, very much out of our control. But a couple of things that are in our control that we can concentrate on is how hard we play and how much fun we have, how great of teammates we are. And I think those three things our kids have really committed to it. And from an overall standpoint, they've committed to, we're just going to concentrate on getting better each time that we're out there. And when you have to look at games as those almost practice periods, I mean, our first game against Benton Community, whatever, 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, whatever it was, that was the first time that we had done that our kids had been in any type of 5-on-5 live situation. So, it's very different situation. So, we have really, really preached to our kids that as tough as it is to be on the losing end of these games early on, that our concentration is going to be on getting better each night. And I think we've done that each time out, in terms of, what the results have looked like from games. And I think, and we've concentrated on controlling the things that we can control. We can control how hard we play. We can control the amount of fun we have, especially our kids on the bench. We control our body language, our attitude, and then we can control what type of teammates we are. And I think maybe that's been the most, impressive or rewarding thing from my aspect. It's just been seeing the type of teammates our kids have been, for the most part this season, especially, the kids that are on the bench, maybe the JV kids. I mean, we've got kids like Natalie Clark and Kia McNeil and those type of kids that are just, nonstop energy on the bench, knowing full well they're not going to play at all in the varsity games. But, that really doesn't matter to them. They're trying to do their part to try and help their teammates out.
So, it's Christmas. There's a Christmas tree at the Hattie household. What is that Christmas present? This is my final question for you. What is that Christmas present under your tree for your girls basketball program that you want to see the most?
I think just see the work that they're putting in and the dedication that they're putting in that I don't think a lot of other people see what goes on, especially this year. With everything that we're dealing with COVID, they've got to watch what they do and who they're around, and it's tough, and they know at any point in time that it could be taken away, whether it's an individual, whether it's us as a team, whatever that might be. So for me, the best gift that I could hopefully have for our kids is that they get to start reaping the benefits of the work they're putting in and the sacrifices that they're making. It's tough. There's nothing harder on a coach to see the kids that you love that put in so much time not get the results that they want, or to have to struggle. And so that's what keeps me up at night, and makes things difficult on my end is knowing the type of kids that we have and the work that they put in, and to see them not have the results that they're really working hard to hopefully get in. Hopefully we'll see more of that once we come out of Christmas break and have a little bit more practice time to get better. But yeah, that would be my biggest wish for our kids.
Well, I think that's great. And we have this wonderful product in Mustang Vision now that is part of your toolbox that we hope to be able to give to you to do just that, to speak into the middle school girls that went 7-0 this season, and to speak into the girls that are playing in Parks and Rec and grade school level traveling teams, and to really help them see the product that you're putting together. Coach, I think you're doing a great job. Thank you for the effort in holding this team together and holding them in positivity and giving them a chance in the platform to produce this year. Good luck tonight with West Delaware. We're going to be there speaking loudly for your program, and I hope to see you guys come out with a victory.
Thank you very much for everything.
Thank you. You have a great Christmas. We'll see you on the court tonight, and look forward to many more opportunities down the road, Coach.
Sounds great. Thanks, Jim.
Take care.
And we're back from the interview. Hope you enjoyed that interview with Coach Matt Hattie, head coach for girls varsity basketball. Always great to connect with him. And, I do miss having him sitting on the bench next to me, doing things live. But his passion, Nolan, it just exudes from him.
Does. I've had him as a football coach and a baseball coach, and he definitely cares about every kid that he coaches, and it shows by the way he coaches, too. He wants you to win, and he wants you to have a good time when you're out there.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of great thoughts that he had on the season, and, of course, giving credit to the difficulties of the situation that they found themselves in, but also the perseverance and the way that they have committed to the process, buying into how do you work on your own, how do you connect via Zoom and still continue to learn the process. But when it comes down to it, how difficult it is, like I said, to dump them out there on the floor and say, okay, this is your first real practice, and oh, by the way, it's a game.
Yep.
But they're working through it, and we own a halftime lead, 30 seconds to go in halftime. And Nolan, I did stats while we were waiting for the interview. Mackenzie Rentschler leading all scorers with 9. Really great to see, considering where she's been this season, the frustrations you've seen in her. Liz Doherty with 6. Lily C. and Bethany Richardson with a couple apiece, and Nadia Tlecki with 1. For the Hawks, Ella Kolek, 11 shots from the field, but just 7 points. And so a lot of those have been really close shots, too. So I think we've really came away fortunate that she's missed so many shots.
Yep, and our hide inside definitely helps us out there.
Yeah.
We can get that help defense, and we got a taller person on her, so.
Well, we're back to action. It's third period underway. Mount Vernon with their first lead after a half this season, looking for their first victory here against West Delaware Hawks. Mount Vernon girls basketball brought to you by Copenhagen Associates. Quick foul coming out of the half as Liz Doherty tries to stay with Kolak around a screen, and they're going to call her that's her third foul, so she's going to go take a quick seat. That's probably the only foul issue at this point, because very low fouls for the Mustangs in that first half, but now with that quick foul, Doherty's third.
Yep, and that's tough to have her sit down so early. She's a good defender.
Good defender and really a team floor leader as well. Felton gets free on the perimeter and misses everything. Natalie Welch with the rebound. Felton with just 5 points. Actually, with 5 points, she was second in scoring for the Hawks. Mustangs get down to the court. We get it onto the block to Richardson. Richardson puts up the shot and has it rejected by Klosterman. Hawks with the ball. Kolek trying to pass out of a really staunch defense by Ava Richardson. Gets the ball back, and she's going to let it go out of bounds as she ran into Bethany Richardson. So the Richardsons almost with the, I'm going to show my age here, the Malachi Crunch. Go look that one up. The Malachi Crunch. Mackenzie Rentschler dribbling the basketball, gets it across center line, picked up by Kolek. Passes out of it to Steen. Ashlyn Steen going to run some point here to Welch. Welch dribbles off the elbow to Ava Richardson, steps inside or steps on the line, misses the shot anyway.
Yeah, it's a good shot though, and looks like Welch had a good screen on that, and it just didn't fall. But I'm sure Coach Hattie will take those every time.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is surprising that Ava has not found herself into the scoring column. Nice Euro step there for Kolak, and she's going to miss the shot and then foul on the rebound. So some frustration showing there. It was a nice move. Lily C in for Rentschler. So the Mustangs now with Welch, C, Steen, and the two Richardsons on the court. Lily C going to press the issue on Kolak. Gets it across center line. Passes out of it to Bethany Richardson down in the lane. Finds Natalie Welch all open. That's great teamwork right there.
Yep, it's always good when you can go post to post down low. They usually double team one post and the other one's only got one on them.
Really good movement, strong movement by Welch without the basketball though. And there's one coming back the other way. Same exact thing. This time Claire Ridnour with the shot.
We just had three get caught up in a screen up top.
Yep.
Nobody knew who they were guarding.
And she just disappeared and reappeared all by herself. Welch cutting in off the wing. Shot missed. Rebounded by Schulte. Ava Richardson goes out to catch the shot, and it affects it a little bit as she slides through it. Schulte misses, and C with the rebound. Actually, that was Kolak with the miss on the three-pointer. Steen passes up the three-pointer, is going to go to the rim with it, or at least to the corner of the backboard, and she's fouled as it's blocked out of there. Nice work by Ashlyn Steen.
After a tough shot by Richardson, who got her own rebound.
Yep.
And then swinging around, wide open lane for Steen to go. It's nice work.
Steen at the line to shoot two here. Referees took a timeout for something there over there. Steen makes the first. So one of the things I'm seeing tonight, Nolan, is really solid free throw shooting for the Mustangs, which is something that Coach Hattie talked about at their summer preparation when he and I got together. Didn't make it on the interview cut, but they've spent a lot of time as a team shooting, and it's showing up here.
Yep, and that's something that we've struggled with in the last few games. We were at 44%, which is not where we want to be at all.
No,
so
absolutely not.
It's good to see that showing up tonight.
The Hawks shooting 53% on the season. And we're up in the 90, we're around 90 or 92% right now from the free throw line. Klosterman shot from the elbow, missed, rebounded, and shot missed and fouled by Nadia Telecki. That was Ridnour with that follow-up miss. Scores 24-19, Mustangs with a lead here at the 5:17 mark in the third quarter. Ridnour misses the first free throw. Yeah, 11 points from the line right now for the Mustangs. That's a big difference in this game. Second free throw missed by Ridnour.
That's crazy. It's almost half our points.
It absolutely is. Telecki has the ball go through her hands, but able to catch up with it. Now C up top. Working on Kolak. Picks up her dribble, passes out of it to Cameron Brand, who's back in. Welch tries to turn the corner, not able to do so. Now Brand, she's going to launch a three-pointer and make it! Cameron Brand!
And that's her shot. When you get one inside, she already has her feet set. She can just step right into it and go up. That's a shot most shooters want to take every single time.
Totally confident with that shot and nothing but net. A great shot, great recognition also by Natalie Welch to pass out of that double team.
Yeah, it was.
So quick timeout by Coach Utoff. It's 27-19. Mustangs opening up a lead here. Nice 8-point lead. And really starting to take control of this game. Coach Hattie is going to be working the team, though. You can bet he's not going to let down on them now that they've got this lead.
No, now's not the time to take your foot off. Stay up in their grill and keep getting those steals to get some more points on the other end.
Another thing I've noticed from the team, he's let the groups work a little longer together. There's been some strong substitutions, but the girls have had more minutes working together. I think that's important for them. Kolak comes in across center line, passes through Schulte to Klosterman. Now Felton. Their starting lineup on the court right now. Ridenour misses the shot. And it's rebounded by Mackenzie Rentschler. Mustangs working the ball back down. Rentschler to C. Going to go through Telecki here, top of key. Hands off to Rentschler. Mustangs with Rentschler, Brand, C, Welch, and Telecki on the court right now. C gets loose, works baseline, and she's going to get bumped by Ridenour. I was just going to say that she's going to find herself in no man's land, and she got helped out by the defense.
Yeah, there's not much to do down there when you get below the backside of the hoop. So
yeah.
Got a good call, and let's get a good inbounds play here and try to get a good layup.
That evens the fouls at 3 apiece here in the second half between the teams. That's the third foul for Ridenour. She's going to take a break. Welch working on Peyton. Hands it off to Telecki. Telecki gets around Klosterman. She's going to take it to herself. Has a little backside pressure and went up strong with it because of it and missed the shot. Rebounded by the Hawks. Kolak with an open three-pointer, nothing but net.
It was only a matter of time until she made one of those.
Yep.
So now we got to get up on her more, and we'll be ready for the next one.
See, as the ball was tempted to be intercepted, they're having some handoff problems over there in that right wing, and C loses control of it. All the players on the floor, and it's going to stay with the Mustangs on the jump. Alternate possession. Bethany Richardson coming in to spell Telecki. And Ava Richardson also in. Out top to Welch. Rentschler works to the baseline and is going to get elbowed by Schulte. And so that'll be the fourth team foul for the Hawks. Mustangs underneath their basket. Rentschler took that one awfully deep herself, Nolan. Welch falls down, but Cameron Brand alertly runs after the basketball. I think Welch got stepped on. She's going to take an open look and drain it. She flushed that one, Nolan.
And that's not a shot you see her take too often.
No.
So it's good to see those ones fall.
Deep penetration. Rentschler got all the way to the baseline, recognized Welch standing wide open. There's a shot by Peyton. She misses at the three-pointer, and they're going to get a foul on that's Schulte down low on the rebound.
And after fouling a few times at the beginning of the quarter, we're starting to get the fouls back in our favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
5-3 now.
And that's good to have at the end of the games, especially the way we're shooting our free throws.
Absolutely. Ashlyn Steen looking to press the issue here. Loses the ball for a moment. Now to Welch. Welch is going to have the ball knocked away, though, by Hellman. Worked around Richardson. That's a tough pass. They have not been able to get that pass going tonight. Peyton gives up the ball to Kolak. Now Klosterman back to Kolak. Tries to pass it around Steen, and she stayed wide with it. And bad pass from Kolak intercepted by Welch. It's 29-22 with 2.5 to play in the third period. Brand to Ava Richardson. Gets it to Steen. Back to Ava. Works top of key. Gets to the free throw line. Cameron Brand, she's going to give it back. Nice little give and go move. So they're working different kinds of different parts of their offense right here.
Yeah, it was. And that she was good to jump to that ball. Could have been an over the back call there probably.
Yep.
But we get it anyway.
Knocked out of bounds by the Hawks. Inbounded successfully to Brand. Now Steen in the corner. Passes up the three-pointer, bounces a couple of times. Cross court to Welch. Welch looks to get rid of it. Does so to Bethany Richardson, and they're going to call a double dribble. I can see where that happens. She thought she was running it down and hadn't taken a dribble yet, but she took two after she caught control and turns the ball over. Now Nadia Telecki's going to come in for Natalie Welch. Mustangs with Brand, Richardson, Telecki, and Steen. Hawks down 7, just inside the 2-minute mark in the third period. Kolak passes to Ridnour. Ridnour with 3 fouls. Richardson's going to pick up a cheap one there. She tries to run through, accidentally runs through Hartman. That'll be the 4th team foul for the Mustangs. You like the aggressive defense there.
You do, and you could see her eyeing that one out the whole way.
Yeah.
But just got a little too ahead of herself and wasn't exactly sure where she was on the court. I think she was a little too close.
Hellman passes it to Peyton. Peyton makes the running jump shot. And it's 29-24. Hawks mounting a little bit of a comeback here. 1:30 to go in the third period. Rentschler says that's enough of that. Three-pointer, and that's going to be a timeout, a 30-second timeout called by Coach Hattie. Good time for a timeout?
I think so. Get us set up. They're probably going to run their best play here, so just got to get ready to defend it. Maybe give them a little break on the floor. I think Rentschler was looking a little tired after that one too.
Yeah.
But she didn't need much space on that shot, that's for sure. She got that up there quick.
That was a great shot, and I'm always torn on that timeout. I mean, you just made a great offensive play. You watch the ball go through the net. It's a chance for your defense to get back and set up while they inbound the play. And so you kind of stop the momentum, but at the same time, you're going to get the benefit of the setup here anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe he'll run a press or something here. Or maybe not.
Maybe not, as they all walk down to the lane. But that's okay. That's,
would have been a good time for it.
I think so. I think it would have been surprising to the Hawks. They seem to be pretty good ball handlers, though.
They do. They haven't had too much troubles. Their passing, on the other hand, is where they've turned it over right there.
That was on cue. They haven't had too much problems with their passing, and they just about turn it over. But the foul is going to be called, I think, on Ava Richardson. No, they're going to give it to C. That's good, because I thought it might have been Richardson's third. Instead, it's C's first. Team fouls even at 5 apiece. There's a minute to go in the third period. Mustangs on an 8-point lead here on the Hawks of West Delaware. Peyton's going to open up a three-pointer and make it. Maya Peyton's starting to heat up now. 2 in a row for her. And there's the steal by Kolak on the inbound pass to C. She gets loose and makes a bunny of her own.
Yep, that's a turnover we just can't have in that situation.
Yep.
It's one where she just didn't take her time. Didn't see her there. It happens to all of us, but it's a tough one when it happens.
It really is. And so now the Hawks bring it back to the halftime deficit. Rentschler gets loose in the lane and knocked to the ground, misses the shot. No help on the call. And it's Hawk basketball with 24 seconds, a chance to tie or get it to a 1-point lead. Natalie Welch is set to check back in, as well as Cameron Brand. Kolak to Hellman, gets it back. Lily C all over her. Kolak's going to get to the baseline, bounce it a pass to Ridnour. Ridnour misses the shot, rebounded by Ava Richardson, but Kolak strips it away and then dribbles it off the foot of Rentschler. So we got a little lucky there.
We did. Everyone got a little more energy on those last couple possessions, and it did not play in our favor too well.
It did not. Well, here we're at the break of the third to the fourth period. We got a fresh 8 on the clock. We're going to show you the commercial from Lynch Ford, one of our premium sponsors.
Hi, I'm Lisa Lansing with Lynch Ford in Mount Vernon. I recently celebrated my 20th anniversary of being part of the Lynch team. We have many other long-term employees, most of which know our customers on a first-name basis. Our customers love the fact that they see the same faces over the years when they visit us at Lynch Ford in Mount Vernon.
Thank you to Lynch Ford for your sponsorship, part of the dedicated group of companies. You've been watching their logos scroll all game long. We keep our sponsors present so that you can see just how many sponsors and constant reminders of companies that you want to, first of all, go and visit and use their services, buy their products, and at the same time thank them for their contributions in supporting the very fine athletics as well as fine arts here in Mount Vernon. You're watching, of course, Mustang Vision, maybe listening to it as well. We're live here in Mount Vernon for girls varsity basketball. We're just entering the fourth period. Girls varsity basketball brought to you by Copenhagen Associates, where the Mustangs own a 32-29 lead. Same spread that they had at half, and they were headed up to an 8-point lead at one point, Nolan, so we'll see if they can get back to it. Klosterman to Kolak. Kolak's three-pointer off the front rim. We'll take that miss. Brand with the rebound. Mustangs start the fourth period with Brand, Ava Richardson, Welch. Welch turns on her defender, puts a shot up and just misses. Also C and Doherty. There's another shot missed by Kolak. She's just short on a lot of her shots tonight.
She is, and the pace has really picked up here for both teams, which I'm not sure whose favor that will play into, but Ava Richardson with a good drive there, and she'll get 2 free throws now. Absolutely.
You like the aggressiveness. Ava did not take a shot in the first half. That's her second of this half, and that one taken control. Really high free throw, missed. So there might be an element, maybe Coach Hattie knowing that they've got an advantage from the free throw line, and the next free throw puts them in the bonus.
Yep, I think free throws will definitely have a big role in the deciding the winner of this game.
Ava Richardson makes the second. It's now 33-29. Kolak for the Hawks. Starts the offense, goes through Klosterman, and they're going to get travel call. Nice defense. I was just going to say, how could that be a call on Brand? But she put enough pressure on her to cause the walk.
Yep, just made her drag her foot there at the end.
Klosterman may have even thought that, there was some contact, that she might get a foul called out of it, but good defensive pressure by Brand. Now C working off of Kolak. Passes out of it to Rentschler, back in the contest. Liz Doherty also back in. Welch off the bounce, has it tipped away. Rentschler corrals it. Gets it back to C. Mustangs looking to probe a little bit down in the corner. She's going to take baseline and get tied up by Peyton, and the ball is going to remain with the Mustangs.
I heard some calls by Coach Hattie on that possession to stay patient, so maybe look for them to drag off a little more clock as they look to get a good open shot.
Yep. Tough getting the ball in. That's going to be stolen by Kolak. She actually traveled there, but they didn't call it. Nice job by C to get in the way, but Kolak able to go around her. And the lead is now cut in half, 33-31. Mustangs retaining the lead still. Got to favor the basketball here late in this game. Ava Richardson to Rentschler down in the corner. Skip pass out of it. Dangerous pass to the free throw line. Richardson back to Rentschler. Rentschler's three-pointer off. Rebounded by Hellman.
And West Delaware has not slowed down on the pressure at all. They're picking it up now, hoping to force some easy turnovers and baskets now.
Three-point shot by Peyton, no good. Rebounded by Hellman, and put back up, no good, and rebounded by Rentschler. Mustangs lose control of it, try to get it into Welch. Had it knocked away, and Felton's going to pick it up. Coach Hattie roaming the sidelines. Not real happy with the referee, I think, just from the body language there.
He wasn't. I think he thought there was a hand that maybe reached across Welch's body and stole that ball, but we didn't get the call, so have to move on.
So they're going to take a quick timeout. This timeout, we're going to feature The Stable, which is bringing you some of the finest Mount Vernon Mustang apparel if you want to pick up your wardrobe so that you show up to these games fully.
Hello, welcome to Mount Vernon. Let me show you The Stable.
The Stable has all your shopping needs, including various sweatshirts and t-shirts.
And kids gear.
We have all your top brand t-shirts.
And stocking caps for the winter. Stop by and see us in person at The Stable or visit our website on the district homepage.
Very proud of this Mount Vernon students that put that video together, filmed it themselves, and submitted it to us. Glad to have that one featured as well. So coming out of the timeout, Coach Hattie's timeout after the turnover by the Mustangs. It'll be now Hawks basketball. Down 2, 5:40 to play in the game. Kolak with the ball, working on Brand. Works off of a pick by Felton, gets down low on the block, sees the double team, throws out of it, and it's going to be an over back call. So good defensive pressure right there, Nolan.
Yep, she didn't want to stop in the corner, but they made her stop there, and she just couldn't find someone to pass it out.
Well, and they had cleared out for her, so everybody was on that far side, and there was nothing to do with it but just heave it. Now the Mustangs, Ava Richardson working on Schulte. Gets loose all the way to the rim, and nice shot by Ava Richardson. Good work on her own to press through that, split the seam. Schulte steps into a three-pointer and buries it. No recognition by the Mustangs. On the drive, it's now a 1-point lead for the Mustangs. Welch is going to dribble it off of her foot and out of bounds. Mustangs kind of losing just control of the basketball a little too many times here.
You're right. There was a lot of energy over by the West Delaware fans. So we can't let that get to us. Just got to stay calm and finish out the last 5 minutes of this game.
Both these teams looking for their first conference victory. Mount Vernon looking for their first season victory. Kolak steps across the line, meets Brand. Mustangs need a strong defense here. Get a turnover. Felton to Peyton. Peyton's three-pointer. Nothing but, oh, they're going to give it a two-pointer on that one. And that gives the first lead since early in the second period to the Hawks. It's now 36-35. Down low to Brand. It's going to be tipped out of bounds. Oh, and they're going to say off of Brand. And Kolak was putting pressure on it. Both hands hit the ball. They're going to say it went off of Cameron. So it's now turnover Mustangs. Hawks basketball, 4:25 here in the game. 36-35 Hawks. Ella Kolak walks the ball up. Picks up her dribble. Needs some help. Ashlyn Steen in there putting pressure on Felton. Felton gets loose. Her shot no good. Rebounded backside by Ridnour. No good. Rebounded again, and this time fouled by Richardson.
Yeah, West Delaware has definitely just found a second gear here that they're kicking up to. And our defense, our help's been a little timid, and we're just a little late. We got to turn that around.
And almost all of their offense right now is coming in the form of drives, driving into those blocks, trying to get to the post, and then either force a foul or get an open look. Ridnour able to get the first free throw to go. And the second. So they open up a three-point lead, 38-35, 4 minutes to play here in the game. Lily C set to come in for the Mustangs. Doherty. She's going to have a handwriting on her. They're going to, Maya Payton, number 23, collects that foul. That's going to be 1-1, so Doherty's going to shoot free throws here. And that's what Coach Hattie wanted to see, but probably about 3 minutes ago. Richardson takes a seat. Mustangs with Bethany Richardson. First free throw is good for Doherty. Lily C, Doherty, Cameron Brand, and Ashlyn Steen on the court. That's Doherty's first points here in the second half, Nolan. Rattles the next one out.
Yep, both teams now in the bonus, so free throws are definitely going to play a big part in deciding the winner of this game now.
38-36, down low, the ball goes, and then right there was the double team of C and Steen, and they knocked the ball out of bounds off as the entry pass to Felton was trying to be made. Good defensive work there. Kolak open on the three-pointer and buries it. Kolak heating up. Now C breaks the pressure. Little token backcourt pressure by the Hawks. C picks up her dribble, is going to pass out of it to Rentschler. Mustangs down 5 now. 3:30 to play. They've got to find some points here on this possession. Lily C gets to the elbow. And puts a shot up, and you're going to call Bethany Richardson on the clear out. That's going to be 1-on-1 for Felton. Kayla Felton's going to be on the line. So it's been a really strong effort for the Mustangs, and just losing a little bit of focus, I think, here in the fourth period.
Yep, we've given up a couple easy three-point baskets, a couple wide open ones, and haven't been able to put one down besides a couple free throws.
Yep. That miss right there helps. Now Telecki for a three-pointer is going to go long. Rebounded by Felton. Mustangs are going to have to start shooting threes like that, unfortunately, as time's starting to be against them. Ridnour passes cross-court to Payton. Payton's three-pointer is good. Maya Payton. That's 2 of 3 from three-point here in the second half for her. Brand with the ball, passes out of it to Rentschler. 8-point lead now for the Hawks. Basically reversing the largest lead of the game. This is theirs. C drives baseline, gets all the way to the board, misses the shot. They can't corral the rebound, and it's collected by the Hawks. Felton. Now Schulte brings it across the center court. Brand on the steal attempt. They're going to find Payton open again in the corner. She misses it. Ridnour can't come up with a rebound. And it's going to go off of Telecki as she and Ridnour both fought for it. Ava Richardson, Natalie Welch in for the Mustangs as Brand and Telecki go out.
Yep, we're really have to get up and pressure now.
2 minutes to play, 2:12.
Got to get up and get a steal or maybe start fouling here shortly.
Ooh, almost a turnover by the Hawks, and Coach Utoff's going to call timeout. Probably a well-called timeout as he saw 2 passes there that were both of them almost lost. So 2:08 to play, Nolan. It's 8-point lead for the Mustangs. Not yet ready to foul to try to keep the clock stopped, but boy, they've got to get a turnover here.
Yeah, we do. And we got to look to get a good shot too. Maybe get Rentschler open or get Daughtry something going to the basket.
You know, it's just interesting when you look at the kind of the scoring chart or the shooting chart for the Hawks and miss after miss after miss deep into this second half, and then all of a sudden everybody's hitting.
Yep.
Which, again, you kind of start seeing it when the momentum turns positive for you and you start seeing the ball go into the net, pretty much everybody wants a piece of that action.
Exactly. They had a couple things go right, and now they all seem to be going right for them.
Right. Quick timeout. Now over. Coach Utoff for the Hawks calling that one. It'll be Hawks basketball in their court. 8-point lead, 44-36, 2:08 to go in the game. Girls varsity basketball brought to you by Copenhagen Associates. Schulte gets by Ava Richardson. Passes to, that was Kolak passing to Schulte actually. Now Payton, back to Schulte, through Felton. Nice tip away by Ava Richardson, but it's going to stay with the Hawks. Under 2 minutes to go. Sense of urgency for the Mustangs. They're going to be overplaying these passing lanes. Richardson on Kolak to Ridnour. Now Felton working on Rentschler. Schulte gets loose inside of C. Puts the shot up and going to be fouled by Doherty. Nope, I think they're going to call C. Yep, they're going to call C for the foul. So Schulte to shoot 2. And misses the first. So where you'd like to use fouls to control the clock and get the 1-on-1 miss, I guess we're going to come away with that potential. Although she does get the free one here. And makes that one. 45-36, 9 to go. C quickly down to Rentschler. Rentschler's going to drive with the basketball and miss it. It's going to be controlled by Kolak, picked up by Payton. And C with the steal, goes to the rim, misses it, gets her own rebound. Can't control it though. Too many shots missed in the second half.
Has been. Great effort by C though. Now West Delaware should be playing a little keep away here.
And we're getting down to the 1 minute mark. There's a tip by the Mustangs, and C's going to come away with it. She's got to take it all the way to the rim, and she makes the layup. And that'll be a timeout by Coach Hattie. 45-38, down to 7. Minute and 8 to play, so you would say there's always time until the clock reads 0, but it's going to take a couple of steals just like that.
It will. I think we'll probably start in the full court pressure here and see if we can get some easy ones out of that. But if not, if it gets under 40 or so, you're probably going to have to start fouling.
Really solid effort from the Mustangs. One of our jobs tonight, Nolan, is to come away with most valuable player, and I think there's several potentials for the Mustangs to really look at, but I think it's going to be a challenge for us because it's a tale of two halves, and you know, different players rose up. I'm just looking at our scoring leader from the first half, Mackenzie Rentschler. She's gone 1 for 4 from the line or from the field here in the second half, just adding 2 to her total. 2 for 4, Natalie Welch. Ava Richardson asserting herself a little bit defensively. Lily C really pushing hard here late. Liz Doherty, no shots in the second half, just 2 shots from the line. Kolak working on Lily C. C trying to stay in front of her, shuts her off. Successful pass to Schulte. Schulte gets loose, passes out of to Payton. There's the keep away that, Nolan, you were talking about. 52 seconds to go. A lot of pressure here by Lily C. Pushing hard on Kolak. She gets rid of it to Ridnour, gets it back. 44 seconds to go. There's the pass stolen by Nadia Telecki. Need a quick shot here. Telecki finds Ava Richardson. Loses control of the ball. They fight for it. It's going to be a jump ball. Good effort by Kolak there to tie up Richardson, and it'll be Hawks basketball. Just not able to find a clean pass.
Nope, we got the steal we wanted, and then we just couldn't keep it in our own hands. Say one more pass on that, and you would have had Lily C open, but just didn't make it there.
Yeah, you had Lily C open on the wing. You had Rentschler before that. Just couldn't get it to either one of them. So backcourt pressure here by the Mustangs. Brand almost got a hand on the ball with Schulte. Passes out of it to Kolak. Over to Payton. Payton, Rentschler's going to go ahead and foul. 22 seconds to go. No option really here. You've got to stop the clock.
Correct. She's probably not the one that we wanted to foul, but had to happen sometime.
Brand sits down. Bethany Richardson back in. First free throw good by Maya Payton. And the second free throw misses off the front rim, rebounded by Natalie Welch. Welch takes it on her own, throws it up on the rim, not able to come down with it. And they called Ridnour standing on the end line. So it stays with the Mustangs, 12 seconds to play. Mustangs down 8. Clock really not in their favor in this point. To Doherty, to Rentschler. Rentschler steps back, can't get a shot. Welch going to drive baseline, can't find a shot. Bethany Richardson's going to put one up at the end, and it expires. And the Mustangs are going to drop this one 38-46 after really controlling most of this game. It was a really, really well-played game for the Mustangs up until about two-thirds of the way, about the 6-minute mark in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. About 3 quarters, we played very, very well and definitely looked like we had the upper hand. And then the pace picked up, their energy picked up, and started making some shots, and it just slipped away.
Yeah. Well, you really feel for the team, and really both teams were in that situation. And the Mustangs have fought so hard, and so really, I'm going back to the interview that I had with Coach Hattie, and you look at process now, right?
Yep.
And I think that if you're concentrating, really attending to process, and you look at this game not from the win or the loss that you gained or you gave away, but rather the process, Mustangs have to come away feeling pretty good about that next level they attained today.
Yeah, they should, and we got a break now. Little time to refresh and, come ready the second half of the season to really work to get better and work to win a couple games. So.
Yeah. How important from a athlete philosophy is this Christmas break, this holiday break?
It really is. It gives you some time to spend with your family, first and foremost, and then it gives you some time if you want to work on some things by yourself. So, they can get in the gym, they can get in other places, and just refresh and come ready to get after it after the break's done.
Yeah, just both well, probably all three, mental, emotional, and physical health, just kind of working on all three of them and getting the sense that, and finding what they were the success that they saw here, capturing that hunger and putting it in place for them for when they return.
Yep, and it gives the coaches some time to think too.
Right. Well, so thoughts on player of the game?
I'll name 2 of them, and
Okay.
then you can narrow it down from there.
All right, let me hear you.
I'll say Mackenzie Rentschler was really great in the first half. Her defense was pretty good overall, and she made some shots, which is what we really needed.
Yep.
And Lily C is my second one. I just felt like she had great energy defensively all the way through. When other people maybe started to slow down a little bit, it just seemed like she picked it back up. So I'll let you narrow it down from there.
Well, I'd say that's tough when you give me those 2 players, because really 2 different approaches, right? Mackenzie Rentschler really was a floor general and an assertive offensive weapon tonight, and she ended up the scoring leader for the Mustangs with 11 points. And then Lily C, she was brought in. She was asked to handle the ball in front of a really tough defender in Kolak, and then defended herself extremely well. She scored 4 points. Boy, that's a toss-up that's really tough to discern between those 2. But I think what I really liked about a Rentschler's game tonight is her willingness to shoot and the confidence that she showed when she got those shots, moving to the open area, a couple of times just generating the shot herself, and giving her team a chance to take that lead early on.
Yep.
So I think Rentschler would be my favorite of the, my preferred of the 2, but boy, so close right there.
That sounds good. Yep.
All right. Well, we'll give congratulations to Mackenzie Rentschler as she takes the Mount Vernon Bank Player of the Game for the Mustangs, and you see that it doesn't take very long out here to turn the pages to Mustang boys varsity basketball as we bring you this special doubleheader. So we're going to take a quick break and change our